Let's talk about my relationship with money. So, why am I talking about money on this channel, my relationship with it? Well, it was just funny because it was a topic that I was thinking of that doesn't necessarily tie into this sort of work, but it does tie into this sort of work. And that's one of the things that I think about a lot. How much things cost, what my work is worth, how much money one needs to be able to earn to support a family or keep a business going or pay their employees. So for me, money has always been a tool. I'm not particularly attached to it. It may be my inner Catholic that I feel more comfortable embracing a life of poverty than embracing a life of material wealth, but I have accumulated some material wealth, which I'm thankful for, and I feel like I'm more a steward of than the actual owner of. So I wouldn't say to somebody, oh, I want to be buried in my 280 SE coupe. That would just be a disservice to the car. I'm more a steward of that car until the next person takes over its ownership in the future, but distant future, by the way. Don't get any ideas. But the relationship between me and money is basically a functional one. I'm not really attached to it, and it doesn't motivate me. I don't really get out of bed every day saying my shop is a cash cow, I'm going to make a bunch of money. The things that motivate me to do my work are the fact that I feel like nobody else is going to put the amount of effort that I am into this work. I feel that I'm not going to, I may not be here tomorrow, so I have to do what I can today. I feel that I have a responsibility to the people whose cars I have committed to working on to do a good job so that those cars provide them with reliable and dependable service rather than, oh, I made, $10, $12, $15,000 off of sorting a car for a customer. And that's a lot of money. It's not really so much that, and it shows the way that I sort of donate my time to different Mercedes projects, and how when a customer has an issue with their car, I feel like it's my due diligence to try to resolve the issue if I've worked in the car before I start, logging the hours. You could actually say that I have sort of a contempt for money and finance because I find it extremely frustrating that so many people are motivated by it. I don't look at my bank accounts on a daily basis, but when I do, it's just to make sure that I have the ability to cover expenses, that are non-negotiable expenses, whether it's paying people like my machinist or my metal guy, paying people who do this kind of good work for me, or whether it's paying my parts suppliers because I don't like being in debt. Those are probably items that I'm more concerned about than my gross revenue from from a job or something like that. So, there are also some downsides too to worrying about money, and so I get really apprehensive because I find that while I look at a part, when I look at a part for a car, let's say I'm working on my 300D and I need a front left turn signal light or something like that, and so I find a new old stock unit for $200, but I know I need it. Now somebody might balk and say, oh my gosh, that's so expensive. But in the meantime, I could say, well, I really need this for the car. It's $200, but I can earn $200. What I can't earn is a turn signal light. Or when I was working on my 280 SE 3.5 and I was living on a shoestring budget while my mom and I were trying to get that car up and running, I knew the car needed a gas tank, which is $750. Now, most people, to try to save that money, they would try cleaning out their rusty tank. But I wanted the car to run right, and I knew that the way that I was going to be guaranteed maximum success was by replacing the tank with a genuine Mercedes tank, even though it was a lot of money for me to spend back in 2011. Now, a lot of people will always look for the cheapest way to do something instead of the way which guarantees the best result. I'm always interested in the way that guarantees the best result, irregardless of cost. And that's the key word. I care about money so little that I look at something and say, oh, this is expensive, but it costs what it costs. Or I look at something and I say, we have to get this resolved. We'll ask questions about what it costs later, and we'll deal with the problem Now, this has yielded some good results and some bad results for me. It's yielded bad results for me because at times I have abandoned my common sense when it comes to fixing a problem the right way and disregarded the cost of a job or a part especially, and prioritized fixing the car, purchased the part with my own money, and strove for that result where I get a perfect repair. Whereas I've had customers contact me after the fact and say, man, this is so expensive, did you really have to do this? To which I respond, not in an arrogant way, but I will tell them, look, I needed this car to work like it's supposed to. What else am I supposed to do? It's in my possession. I have other cars waiting to get in here. If you don't want your car fixed the right way, there are plenty of other shops that'll fix it the wrong way. But, I don't know necessarily what inspired me to talk about money. This is actually something I wanted to talk about before Easter, because during the season of Lent, people talk about poverty and austerity and stuff like that. But I was sort of formulating my opinion about this topic, and I think that it's good for people to know, if they do entrust their car to my services, what kind of attitude I have about money. And it's not that I do things with a total disregard to cost. I have learned from my mistakes, whereas now I try to provide people with a detailed estimate about what their car needs and do my best to try to determine everything that's wrong with their car ahead of time before I start digging into it. But between you and me, you the viewer, and me, Pierre, when I get a bill for a car, I turn in a bill. I might worry about getting paid a little bit if it's high, but at the end of the day, what I worry about most is that everything in that car is going to work perfectly and that the customer is going to be happy with it. And that's really the thing that motivates me. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you guys don't mind me getting so personal. Please leave your comments below. I'd like to know how some of you regard repair costs and finances in regards to your car. And I would love to talk more about some of this stuff in the future. So if you want more of my insights on these things, please let me know. And thank you to all of our subscribers and Patreon supporters. We will see you in the future.